it's like everybody that I know is like, not 100%, because of the weather. It's all because of the weather change. In myself, I'm just like, I'm trying to get out of it though, because it's like, I feel good and everything. But kind of like, but it's okay. I knew winter was going to come sooner or later.
Yeah.
I was
For below
try
zero.
and change my background. I thought maybe I could use the laptop because I was going to change the background, but.
What do you think, Mama T? Am I looking good?
Oh, look at you.
And I'm going to tell you
Aw.
guys that from now on, do what you want with the sound. Well, it's no longer a sound spot page. As you know, I made the announcement that it's our page now. So I see that Mama T's been inviting people and stuff that actually could care about our show and stuff, rather than people that don't. So keep doing that. Whatever you're doing, just keep doing it. Tell people about it.
And I've been pushing this for 2 days. I've been sending every 5 minutes on my Messenger, my Instagram, everything, like on the people that follow me. I got 1,700 followers on Instagram. I got 1,700 followers on TikTok.
Sure.
I got 3,000 followers on Facebook, and I hit everyone up. I said, just turn it on and see what it's about. You might like it.
Yeah. Well, of course, for right now, like when I upload stuff, it's like, people need to have like a Facebook page in order to see it. That's the first requirement. Maybe not a lot of people don't have Facebook, but I'm sure a majority of people do. Almost everybody has a Facebook page now. But this page is our
A few
page.
of my viewers don't. A few of my viewers don't. I've had a lot of requests for, well, I don't have Facebook. Is it available somewhere else? And I said, well, we do post it to YouTube later on.
Later on, yeah. But whatever. I mean, I'm just letting you know just ahead of time now that do what you want with the page because it's for you guys to go crazy. Let people know that's where to meet us at. So there's a web address. It's going to get changed at the end of the month because they only let us do it once every 27 days. But after February 1st or whatever, then it'll officially say Renegade Radio on that page, so that it won't lead to any more confusion. I just decided, as I told Sam last week when we were doing our little thing, that we're just I don't care about what people think anymore.
Frankie actually said online he don't give a fuck.
Yeah, that's right. I finally came out of the closet and just said, you know what? Enough of this shit here.
Fuck it.
That's right. Because it's like, I'm sick and tired of pleasing everybody. And
Dan O'Keefe's going to be on, John. He'll probably have something stupid to say.
He's a good guy. I like Dan.
Danny's all right.
He's a supporter, though, man.
Yeah, he definitely seems like he likes what we do anyway.
Oh, he loves it.
Oh, that man, you ought to see some of his videos, dude. He's whacked.
Hey, what you say, Tony?
Some good videos.
What do you say? What do you say for when we're online about people? Because remember you said something about my ex-wife? Well, she asked me, yeah, you did. And she goes, how do I get on your radio? She says, I didn't even want to tell her. I'm like, it's on Facebook. Huh?
Oh, did I? Okay, well.
You don't.
I wasn't lying. She'd probably agree with me.
Yeah, but still.
She had a bigger wiener than you did.
Oh, Jesus.
Here we said.
Not even live yet.
He has a bigger wiener than I do.
You sound jealous.
I'm so fired about tonight. You don't even know. I love his jacket.
You notice I shaved? Anybody notice I shaved?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Like, oh, like on what is it? Fat Albert. Oh, you have a face. That's nice.
You know what I did? I tell her, hey, love to play football. I tell her my beard with chocolate icing, and my dog licked it off the other day.
Was that nice for you? Was that fun for you? Or what?
It was all right. I liked it.
Jesus.
Hello.
Hello.
How do you say Jack's last name?
Halloran?
Oh, Halloran.
Oh, Halloran. Oh,
I think it's like an Irish last name, I think.
Sounds like a bad flatulence.
It's like a Irish last name, I think. I don't know.
Yeah. She's a fighter.
Oh, that doesn't mean you're a fighter just because you're Irish. I mean,
that is. Back in Jersey, that's all they were, fighters and the Irish and Italians.
Okay, well, yeah. So they all had a story like Rocky Balboa.
No,
kind of
it's not
thing,
to give anything away there, Sean, or whatever your name is.
we'll give what away? What do we give away? Our flamboyant?
There's Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Yeah, I've heard of him before. Yeah.
John
Check and
Roberts,
see if they
what's
can
up,
hear
my
you.
boy?
Can you guys hear me?
Oh yeah, I can hear you. How's it going, man? Good to see
How you
you.
doing, Lauren?
I'm doing great. Happy New Year, y'all.
Yeah.
Happy New
Year,
New
John.
Year.
Y'all.
Steelers made it to the playoffs. Woo-hoo-hoo!
Yeah, the Vikings
Whatever.
continue to suck like normal, because that's just what they do.
Yeah, but they
I
got
don't
another
even care about football, but they
had a
suck.
fall line. One team had a tie, two teams had a lose. So that
That's all.
felt
Okay. Who's gonna win the big one tonight? Washington or Michigan?
Michigan. Michigan's on a roll. I thought that was on tonight.
Yeah, it's on the night.
Yeah, Michigan's on
Yeah,
a roll.
I don't want Michigan to win.
Hey, Frankie,
Yeah.
I got
send
no
me
skin
a
in the
link
game,
to
so I
share
root for
on
the
Facebook.
underdog.
Okay, hold on.
I'm taking
Somebody got their sound on in the
We're live,
background.
guys, so you know we're live.
Yeah, we're live now on Facebook. Well, just hold on though.
I wish Frankie would tell us when he does that to us.
I'm trying to get it already. I was reading a message here. Someone sent me
It's Renegade Radio.
Yeah, hold on. All right. Just hold on
Don,
a sec, guys.
Don, you got that voice for radio. Let's get going. Nonsense stuff.
Hold on there, brother. Okay.
Hey, John.
You want me to do a weather forecast for you?
Oh,
Yeah, hey,
absolutely.
John.
Absolutely.
Tony just said you got a face for radio.
All
I
right.
think I
Well,
did it for 40 years.
hey, the same thing with me too. I mean, we all, only the best people know what they're good at, what the type of face they have. Anyway.
I'm glad I had radio to fall back on when my modeling career ended way back in the day. So it's all good, right?
He didn't fit anymore.
That's right. You be our hands underwear model. That's right. Or Fruit of the Loom.
That was a hand model.
Oh, geez, hand. Yeah. Okay.
Well,
Which
Dan's
hand?
Dan's on already with us.
All right. Well, we'll get started here because that's just what we do. Since it's already 6 o'clock already, our time. All right. What's up, everybody? Welcome to another great edition of Renegade Radio. This is season 2, the opening episode, or the premiere episode of season 2. The one that I've been kind of waiting for the last 3 weeks, since everybody wanted some time off for the holidays and whatnot, which is fine because I don't pay you guys, so I can't expect you to work the holidays anyway. Although Sam and I did a little something last week, but
Bless you.
well,
You're supposed to do it offline.
are we going to just be a blessing show or whatever? Like bless you. Everybody has the sniffles and everything. Anyway, I'm your host with the most, Frankie Slauson, along with Screaming Sam, Mad Dog, Miss T, Mama T, and John Roberts. How's it going, everybody?
Terrible.
Happy New Year.
You're supposed to be happy and excited. It's a new season, so every Monday we've got more work to do, more guests, and 400 guests.
Fired up tonight, boys. I'm fired up tonight. I can't wait.
I was so depressed this week. I had to call Frankie for advice and stuff and talk to him this week. And
Yeah, it was that something. Huh? That was a good conversation.
And he told you to shave your
I don't
face?
know if you guys.
Go ahead,
what's
Joe.
that?
I don't know if you guys heard about the weather we got up here over Christmas, but it was freaking crazy, man. I mean, my
Really?
sister flew up from Alabama. She made it to the Twin Cities. They told her it wouldn't be 4 days before they'd fly her into Grand Forks. So I drove down to Minneapolis, St. Paul in that fog and picked her up and came home. Well, then Christmas Day, we got caught in that rain and ice storm on the way back from Fargo. And I mean, you should see it out here. Trees were falling down. People were without power. It was nuts. But it's done. We're done.
That's
We're through
terrible.
it. So
Well, but now just the temperatures are just so like I'm not used to below zero weather, and it just like sucks around here because it's cold. And it's Friday it was so slippery. I don't know how slippery it was over Grand Forks, but it was pretty slippery over here. Tell you that much.
bad. Yeah, really bad. Really
So,
bad. But
But
I don't
yeah,
know. I don't know. Is it it's still people said I'd rather have 5 feet of snow. I wouldn't. I'll
No,
deal with
I
ice
have
for
a
a
nice
week.
sunny day, nice hot, not, not too crazy hot, but just
Yeah.
a nice fall day or something, Maybe that's the old person in me. I know 40's sounded old, but whatever,
Old.
Anyway, so we welcome all you guys and gals to season 2 here. It's gonna be a very good season, I hope, and I believe that it will be. We have a lot of fun things planned and something that we don't even know about, but we look forward to, doing a lot of fun things in this season. I would say because eventually, as it gets warmer out and stuff, I'll be going to hanging out with Mr. Roberts over there and probably Mama T as well. We'll have to get together, as we were talking about before or whatever, about doing some live shows at his studio via Zoom or however we decide to do it. And that should be a lot of fun because I think Monday nights would work. Yeah, as long as it works with John, because it's his studio. So whatever works for you there, my friend. But we can talk about that later because that's just a later
Yep.
plan for like springtime or whatever. And then we got the big Destination Pro event that we were talking about last time, 3 weeks ago. I did, let Josh know about us. So far, I haven't heard back as far as what his decision will be, but hopefully he'll pick us because I told him that our especially with what you have there, John, in your studio and all that, you could offer stuff that most radio stations probably wouldn't even offer.
Absolutely.
It's
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
be featured in the studio. So, it all depends on what he decides because I know that he's more for people from Minneapolis and Fargo and all these other people, but it's like you're from Fair, but you're not the only person from the area that's doing something. Pick your local media and actually people that actually care about what you're doing and that give a crap about your business because you're bringing something to us that we desperately needed, some entertainment, around here, even if it's independent wrestling, it's still I'll take that over anything. And at the Ralph Engelson Arena on May 11th, that should be a fun time. And I know it'll be a fun time. So we got that to look forward to.
Time because my boy Kurt's going to be there.
That's right. I haven't bought any tickets yet, but I want to. I'm going to probably buy a ticket just as a backup, just in case he don't pick us at all. But if he does pick us, then hopefully we'll get like backstage passes and everything. And we'll talk about that more later on as we know the answer because I don't want to second guess ourselves and be full of confidence saying, oh yeah, we're in like Flint, man, we got it, and then completely lie to
What you know what day of the week it is? I don't have my calendar. with me.
Saturday, May 11th,
Okay.
about 6 o'clock or so. But probably after Mother's Day weekend, or maybe that is Mother's Day weekend. I don't even know, but it's around that time. But anyway, so yeah, we got the season premiere. We got 3 guests. I know, oh, so sad. We got 3 guests, but the first 2 guests come in as a combo pack. We'll just say, buy one get one kind of like because they're friends and they've been lifelong friends for the last 40 years or so, and they're from California or they live in California. Their names are Stephen KIRK and Dennis Willis, and they do a show called SOUNDWAVES, which is similar to our podcast, but not really because we're they're doing more towards music and whatever, and ours is more what's going on in the news and if we get a guest we'll build them up. But for them, they've been doing this for a long time and they got a pretty good following and we're honored to have them on. I'll be sending them their invite here in just a little bit, but about 6:30 and then about 20 minutes they'll be coming on. And then the big one, the main event, as long as he answers the call, because I did let him know today, reminding him that, hey, we appreciate having you on tonight. And so far, I haven't heard anything back yet, but Jack O'Halloran will be our second hour guest, and that should be good for the Superman films. And then just remember, Mad Dog, just don't try to take over the show. If he does pop up, don't be asking him a million questions.
I got questions. You guys gonna have to sit aside and watch the Mad Dog work on this one. Well, I just got to know every guy he boxed, and I can't wait to ask him about some of these things.
Okay, but just don't overbear it and just don't scare him away.
You only tramp on you one or two times.
Somebody wants to know what the fuck is Mad Dog doing?
I'm trying to waves in the back, stop, but my arms going a different way than my head is, and I'm having a seizure, man.
Yeah, that's what it is. Huh?
I'm hungry. Every time my wife
That's what
cooks,
you kids are
I'm
calling it nowadays, huh?
What's that?
Well, you gotta call it something nowadays. You know? What else? Well, how was everybody's holiday then? Everybody have a good, good
sick.
vacation?
I got sick Christmas Eve and didn't get out of bed till New Year's Eve.
Wow. What a happy new year, huh? What a
Didn't
way.
get this fish, man. I was waiting for that fish, the feast of the seven fishes. I got linguine and noodles done, ran outside, and it looked like an octopus was coming out of my mouth. I had noodles shooting all over Castle Shannon, PA.
Wow.
Yeah, stupid virus, dude. I didn't have
I mean, it happens. I mean, was it something you ate or something you did
no,
that?
I had that respiratory for people over 60. I got COPD and I got a lung problem. So I got that respiratory disease. It was horrible. It was terrible. I couldn't breathe. Breathing treatments 3 times a day. It was bad. It was something not normal.
Has going to the gym helped you with that at all?
Oh yeah. I'm back. I just got back to the gym this week, but last Monday. But I'm going 2 times a day now, man. And guns are going to be back up. Mad Dog might be getting in the ring at age 63.
You might even have a 6-pack coming in.
My ab routine is a pizza and a 6-pack of beer.
There you go. There you go.
If I do abs, brother, yeah. I got a belly that's hitting the ground now since I lost 120 pounds. It's down on my knees. I got to get some skin removed. I can cover a Volkswagen with that skin.
So you'd be a creepy Santa Claus then, maybe? I don't know.
No, not no more. Soon the sun will be out, the guns will be out.
There you go. There you go. How about Mama T? How was your holiday?
Well, I didn't get to see my kids or my grandkid, but other than that, pretty much spent it with my favorite person. So
Me? You know, Bob.
yeah, I know.
You did see me. We did see each other once, or maybe a couple times during the break, because I came to see you, and then you came to see me at the casino. So that was nice.
Were you here for the magician? I forget.
Well, the first time, I think.
Yeah.
That one Saturday when I had off. Yeah. But
That's right.
yeah, I thought it was pretty good. I mean, he did a pretty good job. I liked what he did with his voice, and and that's the magic of making music with what the good Lord give you, I guess. My holiday was just kind of, it was what it was. I mean, it just we had stuff with family, and got a few presents, and I got more of my presents after Christmas, because I did a big old Amazon shopping spree. I bought some movies. And next week officially I should have my desk and my new desk, so you won't have to look at this anymore. So I actually have normal view and everything. I know how much you love the crotch shots and everything. It's so lovely. I wore pants just so our guests wouldn't be scared away. Anyway, but yeah. Oh, no problem, no problem. Well, I appreciate Amazon for helping you find a good desk anyway. Anyway, so I'll have all that next week, and that was my Christmas. And then we got Antique Man making his long way to return after a few.
Hey,
months. How's it going, man?
Sporting the SDSU sweatshirt.
Yeah, go Jack Rabbit.
Yeah, undefeated again.
Yeah, we're good. I used to go to some of those games.
Did they play on TV this last night or something? They had a game or something going on, or they were in the finals?
Yesterday, yep.
Okay. That sounds
they're the new NDSU. Yeah, they're the new NDSU. These guys have won 2 national championships in a row now. They're legit. They're a really good team. They're fun to watch.
Wow. Good team. A good marching band too. How's everybody doing this year?
Oh, we're rocking and rolling. Season 2 is getting it underway. How's your holidays in there, Mr. Antique Man?
Oh, thank you. Texas has been fairly warm. wet today. Excuse me. Sorry I missed the last couple shows. I didn't want to spread any germs. But
Oh, no worries.
after that last show you had, and you had that gal on, I came to the conclusion that I'm a lesbian.
Oh.
You're lucky
Well, you
trapped
know
in a
how
man's
hard it
body.
was to make our new banner when I included you on there, because you know, you notice that your photo is different from everybody else, because every time I try to do a creation or whatever, it made it look like you were a woman, you know, every time. And I try to find as many good pictures. It was hard for a lot of you guys, you know. I had to find the right pictures because
I
some
look like
guys didn't look right, you know.
That's
So
okay.
I went with the GTA format, and you know, Sam showed me what he thought. I didn't know what anybody else thought about, you know.
I look
I
like
like mine.
Yeah,
I
yours is
look
like
like
you're
secret agent man and shit.
like you're the mob boss, and we're just all part of your crew or whatever, you know.
But makes me look a lot cooler than I actually am.
I'll say with me too. Even the photo I use currently right now with my Facebook profile makes me look cooler than I really am. You know, I got a nice package too, which is
I
nice.
thought you were a lesbian.
I guess I
Oh,
look
really? Maybe we're all lesbian, right?
Nah, I'm teasing. It's a
Nice,
joke.
the lesbian New Year, anyway, right?
Uh,
Anyway, no, we were honored to have Bear on last time. She was great,
Yeah,
and you know,
good.
Yeah, she was good.
Or no, she's funny as hell.
I'm sorry
She
that it
is.
took you a while to get all the rest of the episodes up, but I wanted to get your all you other guys' opinion, because I did get Sam's opinion last week. Now I uploaded a couple episodes from well, the only two that I did with that one guy that could have been the whole Renegade radio experience at that time. Did any of you have a chance to look at those untitled podcast episodes at all? And if you did,
Yeah, I with him.
what do you think? Anybody think anything about them at all, or that?
No,
I haven't got.
you're all right.
Okay, all right. I see the excitement anyway.
I won't. I started watching one and then crap got busy and that was it. And I'm the worst at doing that stuff. I get so much stuff sent to me every single day. I try to look at everything, and then sometimes it gets hard, and then you'll start looking at it, and then something else comes up, and you go to that, and then pretty soon it's 4 days later, and you're like, I didn't even finish
Would you
that.
consider yourself a good critiquer of content? Like when it comes to like knowing what you like and knowing what you don't like?
I don't. I don't critique much. I spent too many years doing that when I was in radio. If it's something I'm interested in, I'll listen to it. If the guy or whoever is conducting the interview, if they're horrible, I mean, gosh awful, I might critique them and say something about them. But I try not to. But if you ask my wife, she'd probably say, "Yeah, I do." I don't know.
Well, that's what I wanted to
It's a good
know.
interview,
Because that's what I wanted to know, because I know how well I did, but I just want to know if you guys thought of the other guy that I was doing this with, if you thought that he had some potential, or if he was like okay, or maybe needed a little education as far as, because the guy didn't know much about what we were doing. I had to really like teach him about things and whatever, like technology and pop culture. He didn't even realize that Tommy Boy and Black Sheep, we were talking about movies and stuff, have been on Blu-ray and DVD for quite a long time. He had no idea, It's like he thought they were still on VHS. I'm sure none of you guys don't care about that, but whatever. Anyway,
the thing is, dude, is I'm understanding everything you're saying.
oh, okay.
I'm so computer illiterate. I've told you guys that how many times.
Yeah.
And in fact, if we do something in our studio, which I'm really looking forward to doing, I have to make sure I have a producer lined up, because I can't do it.
Oh yeah, I would hope that you'd have somebody that, because I've never been to your studio before, so I don't know how all that works. I remember what we used to do at Black Hills Fox in their studio, when I used to help them set up some stuff, even though I was master controller or whatever, but I still helped set up like stuff like lighting and whatever. Sometimes if somebody didn't show up, yeah, that was fun. The preparation was fun, and then actually seeing it doing it.
Yeah, we have 3 different producers, and we'll be able to get one on a Monday. I guarantee you that.
Okay.
It'll be fun.
I just don't want to make it like any trouble at all, because I just want, if we can do it, to be as fun as we can, and we'll of course have obviously Sam, and we'll have the whole group here, whoever
Yeah.
can make it, whatever, and it just, I just want to see how it looks, because I do watch your content, when I see stuff pop up on Facebook and your interviews and stuff with the local people and stuff, but I just, I haven't seen what I look like on a professional camera in such a long time, so it's like you look totally different compared to a regular like this webcam that I'm using right now. We're all using it, so
Right.
So I was gonna apologize, John,
It's
for not being,
what
for
Marcy?
not being able to watch those. I was just really afraid I was gonna use up all my data,
Sure.
watching all the reels you keep sending. I wanted to make sure I had some left tonight.
Well, at least they ain't at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, some have been. I told you I just send them whenever I feel like I should. It's like it's funny. It's funny to me because I don't. If anybody reacts to them, you'll see them when you wake up or whatever. And it's like I've got some good ones lately. It's just hey, if you like the stuff, you like it. If you don't, you don't. I mean, I'm not trying to. I'm not
Right.
gate to where we're going here, but I'm gonna send our invite now to our guests and let them know that we're ready for them here.
Great.
Whatever, because these guys will be a lot of fun. Can't wait to.
Looking forward to it.
Dan said he's been watching Bear Clark Webb. He says funny stuff. Mad Dog looks like a football player, and I guess he says Antique Man, thumbs up.
Okay,
yeah.
that's good.
On that, when I was making that GTA Manor or whatever, I tried to find the best photos I could, and then with Mad Dog, I figured, well, this would be a perfect one for him because he seems like a sports guy, so and I know you are, for Mad Dog, so it's perfect. So I did send the request out to him, so whenever they get in here, should be in here.
Okay.
But yeah, other than that, I mean, I'm really excited about this second season because next week we got 2 guests lined up, and that's all we're gonna have for next week. But we have a young up and coming comedian, a guy named Sam Miller, who has a lot of stuff on YouTube and did release his first comedy album. He's a big guy. He likes to wear a lot of cool, funny shirts and everything. He's a former drug addict and comedian, so he's kind of has a lot of stories to tell. But he's good.
Oh,
I mean, he's getting well known. Like,
Talk about meth. Isn't that the one that talks about meth all the time?
well, he doesn't talk about it like completely, like all in his whole act, but it's just like he brings it up because he's telling you about his life story and everything. But he's using comedy, to tell that story, as most comedians do. So. And so we got him the first hour at 6:30, and then 7:30. And I did this one for you, Mad Dog, and probably you too, John Roberts, because if you guys really like old school wrestling, you're gonna like this guy because his name is Vincent Barry. He's an author, and because of the release of the Iron Claw movie about the Von Erichs,
Yeah.
he wrote a book about one of the Von Erichs not too long ago. And so we're going to have him on next week. Not Von Erich, but the author.
Yeah. Cool.
So, should be a lot of fun.
Cool.
So, I look forward to that. And then as far as the next couple of weeks, I don't know. We're just a who's who yet. So just all I
You
got.
just think if you had one guest tonight, we'd have the next 4 weeks filled up. Just saying.
Yeah, you told me that last week, but you know what? I mean, that's a good idea, but it's like, but it's like, what's wrong with just doing the way we're doing it?
Okay.
I told you,
Don't get mad, Frankie. Don't
Huh?
get mad. Don't get mad, Frankie.
Just be happy.
With the
Don't
why.
worry, be happy. Well, before we get our guests on, today is also a very special day because it's Elvis's birthday. You
Oh,
guys
yeah.
Any Elvis memories or any fans of Elvis at all or anything?
Yeah, he sings. So I know.
Well,
Hey,
what
my opinion, one of the greatest singers ever. One of the greatest singers ever. I had a kid brother. He was killed when he was 20 years old back in 1990. And Elvis was, I can remember sitting around our TV because we only got about 3 channels back then. and they had the live Aloha from wherever, Hawaii, whatever show that was. And I remember sitting there with the little handheld tape recorder because my brother was recording this concert. He was just young, you know, and I remember my dog barking and my kid brother getting just mad because it was going to be on the recording. But Elvis was awesome. I don't care what anybody says. That dude had some pipes, man. He could sing.
Thank you very much.
Well, we
Tell me again. God bless you. Adios.
Yeah.
this holiday weekend, New Year's Eve, we went. There's a regional local guy by the name of Craig with a K, Parker, and for 19 years he's been doing Elvis impersonation with a whole band. And the guy that manages Craig Parker was once one of Elvis's managers. And so it makes it interesting, and the guy does a really great job. So we had a lot of fun listening to some Elvis tunes.
Love me sweet.
I suppose, Sam, you know, I mean, you listen to satellite radio, so I'm sure you're always blasting the Elvis channel, right? Yeah, you.
Yeah, you.
Yeah. I love Elvis, but I like the Beatles. I like them all.
Okay.
Hey,
Yeah.
George. Listen to Boy George.
What's wrong with that?
Yeah.
But I heard Elvis, you know, like before he died, like one of the reasons why he died was, well, obviously because he was like really bad on drugs and alcohol, but something happened to him back like in the late '60s, like he had an accident and that kind of caused like headaches and whatever, and something. I don't know if this is factual information, but it's something that I see in floating around the web anyway about how he had why he was so big and everything, like his organs were kind of like what's
Yeah,
that
if
word?
Once you'd be big
Swelling,
too.
like organ swelling or something, I guess, or something. I don't
That
know
was
if that's
from peanut butter and bananas.
no,
No,
I've got
but like from
that problem.
bad eating habits, but like also the pills and stuff and the alcohol and everything that he was going through, and it's
on the toilet, tried to poop and he had a hemorrhage.
yeah.
So for Elvis's birthday, I got to show you guys something real quick.
Did you see the picture of me back in the old days when I dressed like Elvis?
No.
Oh, you've never showed us that at all.
Here we go. I'll put it in my backdrop.
Yeah. Hey, there's one of our guests for today. Hey, what's going on there, Stephen? How you doing?
He's in
Oh,
the
you
car.
gotta
No audio.
connect to his audio there. We were just waiting for Dennis to show up, and then can't hear you yet. Still connected to your audio there. He's in his car right now, so let's give it some time here. There we go. Can you hear us at all there, Steve?
Yeah. KIRK, huh?
I can. Yeah, we can't hear you at all yet. I don't know if you
Nope.
can hear.
Okay, hang on. Let me see if I can.
Oh wait a minute. Now we
I
can
can
hear
hear you.
you.
You can hear you.
Now we can hear you. Now it must have been like a delay. How's it going, man?
It's I coming to you live and direct from Los Angeles traffic. That's how it's going. How are you doing?
Hey, we're doing great. We're excited to have you on, and we're just waiting for Dennis to show up. Or is he with you?
No. I'm down in LA. He's up in San Francisco. So
Oh, okay.
covering
I don't know
the
if you
whole
guys were
state
doing
here.
this all. I didn't know if you guys were doing this all together, like side by side, or in the same studio, or just how we're doing it. But that's fine. That's fine.
No, where's the fun in that when you can make things as technically difficult and hinky as possible?
There you go.
Absolutely.
I'm
We're
just
excited to have
looking at the
we're-
background out your windows there. It's
Yeah.
light where you're at. Where we're doing this show from, it's been dark for like 3 hours.
Oh yeah, no, I've got about a half hour of daylight left, and then it's all winter, nighttime, cold, windy. Yeah.
Well, we're honored to have you on, Steve. I mean, you and I have chatted a few times before, and
Yeah.
then where we've been Facebook friends for a long time. I
Yeah.
figured since I've never had you and Dennis on together, that that's why I requested to have you guys on come on at the same time anyway, because you know, I listen to your shows once in a while, and it's kind of neat to see how you guys, you know, are together, you know, compared to
Yeah.
separate and everything. But we're honored to have you on, and this is a treat. For those that don't know, as I've said in the intro, that he and Dennis have been lifelong friends for a long, long time, and they started the show called SOUNDWAVES, and it's been a what like a pretty good successful trip, I say, a successful journey through all the years that you've been doing this.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, the show just celebrated its 40th anniversary last year.
Wow. Congratulations.
So thank
Great.
you. Yeah. Yeah, it's not 40 consecutive years, however. There actually was a period of time where we were gone for a few years, but I'll wait till Dennis gets on here so he can participate in that part of the conversation. Are we officially going at this point, and Dennis is just
Yeah.
going to jump in, or is this
Oh yeah,
is this sort of
Dennis is
pre?
here.
he's here right now. You just there's probably just a delay because you're in traffic and everything.
Oh, I see.
But he's in here though. He's wearing a blue shirt and everything. He's, you know, looking good, looking like he's behind some CDs or movies or something. It must
Oh,
be his
okay.
back game. How's it going, Dan?
Okay, yeah, no,
Very
How you
good.
doing?
How you guys doing?
Oh, we're
very
doing
good.
great,
Okay.
man.
Good.
I don't know if can you see Steve and Steve?
Yes, I can.
See Dennis.
He is truly driving in the car. I wasn't sure if that was an excuse or not, but yeah, that's legit.
He's just going through some wireless issues, but it's all right. We're happy to have you guys on here. First of all, for Renegade Radio, this is kind of the first time I've ever had you guys on together because I've interviewed both you guys separately many times before in the past, but never had you on together. So this is a rare treat for my crew and I, and we're excited to have you guys.
Well, we'll certainly see how it goes.
So
Dennis, seeing as we started talking about 40 years of sound waves, blah blah blah. Why don't you talk about that a little bit? Seeing as you started the whole thing, you
Well,
started
the blah
whole
blah
damn
blah
thing.
sounds a lot more interesting, actually.
Yeah,
Well,
no,
you have
story.
to remember, we just spent the whole last year talking about our 40th anniversary, so we're kind of tired of hearing about it. But if you guys want to hear about it,
So I don't know
absolutely.
what Jared. The short version of it is that when I was 16 years old, I actually before that, when I was 14 years old, I won a prize at my local public access TV station, and I was in love with the idea of just playing music for people. And so when I won this prize, I thought, I got to see what this is about. And I walked into the place, and it was this dingy little place with a little radio station area over here and a studio over there, and you know, a room about as big as the one I'm in now. And I just fell in love. It's all I wanted to do, and so I became a volunteer. I did a different show other than Soundwaves, and then kind of revamped it. And in 1983, when I was 16, then we started doing Soundwaves, which was an after-school request program. So it's basically sitting there playing music, and it grew and expanded beyond that, where a bunch of kids started coming in and hanging out on the set, and then it grew beyond that, where we're playing music videos and on location, and we did it for 25 years, off and on. Sometimes more off than on, but we got there,
That's
and
great.
we had a lot of fun.
Oh, that is awesome because you know it's like you always wonder how things get together and how you know how something's created out of nothing. You know, and
Mhm.
that's interesting because back in the day when you guys first started, you know, the world was so much different. Everybody kind of you know was a lot more cooler back in the day because of just the way the world was and I don't know. Do you think you guys would still have success if you tried to do it today?
Well, I mean, what's interesting, and I've been working on a documentary about all this, and so you know, you start going through this stuff, and with the hindsight of decades, you know, you look at certain things and go, we couldn't have done that at any other time in history than right then, like that format. And then as we changed our formats, like everything we did, we were like right on the edge of not quite being technologically advanced enough, but not quite being so far removed from, but still doing things for the first time, you know, and kind of, you know, I don't want to say we pioneered anything, but we threw enough crap at the wall to see what stuck. We were completely experimental, and a lot of it failed, but a lot of it you're like, oh no, we did do that like before anybody else did that, and so it's cool. It's cool to look back and go, Yeah, I mean, we just, again, at the, nobody got paid for doing it back then. And so it's just like, we're having fun. As long as we're having fun and being experimental, that's really what it was about. When people stopped having fun, they stopped coming down, and then it wasn't fun, for anybody then.
And when you
So
say,
Dennis, you're up in San Francisco?
Yes. Yeah. I'm right out of San Francisco. We're in the Bay Area. We're in Pacifica.
Okay, I used to live in the East Bay. I lived in Concord.
Okay.
And I actually worked at a little radio station / school in Walnut Creek.
Nice.
Way back in the day. Me being from Northwest Minnesota, hour from Canada, hour from North Dakota, middle of the tundra. When I moved out there, that was like a big time awakening for me. This was a long time ago. I was still pretty young, but yeah, man, good times back there. And I loved it. It was a lot different than here, that's for sure. But what a great place. And if you guys have been together this long, who moved? Have you been lifelong friends since LA or the Bay, and somebody moved south or somebody moved north?
Well, I lived here my whole life. Steve moved here from New York. He could tell that part of the story, but ultimately he moved. So he moved to Los Angeles in 1991 ish.
90, 91, something like that.
Something like that.
Sometime in the last century, yeah.
And what were you going to say before John talked to you or started talking to you there, Steve?
Well, you had made the comment, would you be able to do that same show today? And the answer is yes, because we are. We're actually starting our 7th season of our new and improved SOUNDWAVES. We ended up going off the air about a decade or so ago, actually longer than that now, because of the changing the prevalent atmosphere at the time when we ended up going off the air. That's when the record labels were starting to say, hey, you need to pay us to show music videos. And we weren't making any money. And for 25 years at that point, we had been showing their commercials for the people that they're signed on their labels. And, Dennis made the decision that, no, we're not going to do that. Why would we? So the show was off the air for about a decade, but then 70 years ago, when we brought the show back on the air, we changed the format, and we actually started working with local musicians in the Bay Area, and they got great music. They've got music videos. They don't, it's not like we could be showing music videos from bands that are signed to major labels that are out doing mega tours and all that sort of stuff. You know what? They don't need the help. They don't need the attention. They don't need the emphasis and the focus on, hey, you got to listen to these guys, because those big name people that we used to get the music videos from the major labels, they already had a following. They already had a name. We weren't breaking artists back in 1984, but now the show as it stands, working with these Bay Area bands, we're really shining a spotlight on people who deserve to be heard.
That's cool.
That's what we do here.
Yeah, that's pretty much what we do here too. Like here on Renegade Radio, we try to get some good guests, but they're not always A-listers or B-listers. Sometimes we get some C and D, but everybody deserves a chance to spotlight if you're doing something cool.
Because today, these days, and that's awesome, and the way we look at it is that, you can't just afford to be an artist or a musician or whatever you're choosing to do. We all have day jobs, and so the thing is, if somebody is, so I was fortunate enough to, after we put the show back on the air, we were fortunate enough to, the gal who we do the show with, Chasta, she works at a radio station, which is the #1 classic rock station here in the Bay Area. And so they brought us in to do a partnership, kind of a symbiotic thing where we share footage together and we go to their events. And eventually that became a Saturday night show called SOUNDWAVES FM that I host. And so not everybody has a music video, and not everybody listens to the radio anymore. But I got to tell you, my favorite part of the week, every week, is on Sunday morning when we've played some artists and they're on social media, sitting in their car, hearing themselves on the radio, and they're so thrilled or they're crying or something. And it's some little affirmation that says, you got your crappy job, but you come home and you want to bleed into your art. And here's like, yes, keep going, because, and if we can spend 4 minutes doing that for somebody, then that's better, certainly better than what I get
That's a
paid. But I
great
mean, you know,
feeling.
yeah,
Oh, that's cool. That's
yeah, it's
cool.
We
awesome.
do that here at Bobby's.
Yeah,
He features new artists on his album, and
yeah.
we
It's a
feature
it's a good
local
time.
float. You got to do something because albums don't sell it like that.
Yeah.
What was I gonna say now? I suppose in the early days where you guys try to do kind of like what MTV was doing, but just kind of an old version of that, or was it totally, or were you trying to be different from that?
Well, at first it was just music, you know, and so what people saw was a bunch of kids hanging out while the music was playing. And then and then we got canceled. And that happened a few times. But when we came back, then we were pulling things off of videotapes and it was awful. And then we went away again. And then when we decided to really make a run for it in the 90s, we brought on an old friend of mine who I grew up with, Joe McCaffrey. And we were like, you know, if we're going to do this, we should do it for real. And that meant reaching out to labels. And we found in the 90s when MTV was starting to move away from music programming and into reality and game shows and all that stuff, we found that the labels were very receptive to the regional shows, and they just started giving us all this stuff. I mean, we got concert tickets and we got, you know, just, and the videos. And so we'd get these 3/4 inch tapes that would show up and have 10, 15 videos on them. And the hit ones were at the top, but there was all these other ones. And we started gravitating toward the ones down at the bottom. And in a lot of cases, there were artists that would go on to do things, but we can be like, well, we played them first because, you know, we weren't always looking to play popular stuff, but we were looking for stuff that was good. And that relationship lasted for a good long time, I would say, from 1994 until when the letter showed up from Universal Music saying, you got to pay us now. And we were like, we're doing this together, guys. You know, like, I know it's content for us, but it's promotion for you. But the label started losing money because of Napster, and they had to keep their boats somehow. And so they came after us. They came after all the regional shows and bowling alleys and DJs and everybody who they were giving music to. They're like, you got to pay us now. And all that stuff went away overnight. Shows like ours, all the bowling alley stuff. I mean, it's like everywhere you used to go and casually see a music video stopped overnight because of that. And, you know, what do you do about that? You just move on with your life. And then, but what we found now is so much more special and rewarding, you know?
Oh, sure.
Dennis, this is my dog. I see you were a movie critic for 20 years too, huh?
And still do it occasionally.
Do you?
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good time. I'm actually in 2 groups that vote, the San Francisco Bay Area Film Critics Group and then the Critics' Choice Awards. And so I get to watch the end of year stuff and, you know, and get those, I call them protest votes because, you know, like this time of year, if you're paying attention, you know what's going to win everything. And so I like voting for the stuff that's not quite there yet, you know, and just kind of nudge it a little bit.
Hey, I'm surprised that the Weird Al Yankovic movie did pretty good, you know?
Yeah.
No surprise.
Yeah. Yep.
Well,
Steve, do you
well,
get also, Steve?
what?
Do you do any movie critics, or what do you do besides the radio thing? I'm talking to Steve.
Oh, is that a question for Steve?
Yeah.
What do you do, Steve?
What do
I think he's frozen in time now because he's.
I think so. Or he's just really still because he doesn't want to answer the question. Oh, there he is.
No, I'm here. I just
No.
backed into my driveway actually. So
Oh,
actually,
it was frozen for a little bit. So.
yeah. Oh, okay. Well, I'll tell you what. Here's the deal. Dennis is going to go back to talking about movie stuff for a second, and he's going to talk about him and I going to the Critics' Choice Awards and rubbing shoulders with some big celebrities. And while he's telling that story, I'm going to go in my house, go in my office, and come back to the meeting. How's that?
Sounds good.
All right. I will see you guys in a few.
It's
Okay.
not that impressive a story. The whole thing about okay, but here's something. When you watch award shows, so yeah, one of the perks of going to these things or being a part of the group is that you go to the award shows. But the problem, and that was awesome for a while, and then they started adding TV So now every damn award show, aside from the Oscars, has movies and TV. So that means there's double the attendees in the room. So it's not a lot of fun because they want to stick all the critics in a room with a big monitor. And I've got a room with a big monitor. I don't need to go to LA for that, you know? But when I first started doing it, it was, and I suppose this still happens to a degree. When you watch those shows and they come back from a commercial, you'll notice everybody's hustling to sit down. It's because they just all get up to, you know, to shoot the shit in the middle and take pictures and stuff. So that's what we would do. We would end up at these tables surrounded by all these people who were nominated. And then as soon as they go to commercial, everybody stood up and got selfies. So, you know, rubbing shoulders, I don't know about that. You know, I met Barbie for 8 seconds, but I got a picture, you know? So it's just not a lot of fun now anymore. Although we did get hammered with Will Forte one year, and that was fantastic. So,
well, that's cool. I mean, you're kind of just like right in the middle of everything because you know you're in Hollywood or San Francisco.
well, I'm not. Steve is in Hollywood. He has no excuse not to go to these things all the time. But and so for me, it's always, you know, I go down and stay with Steve, and then he was my date. You know, we would always go. My wife has always been very pissed about that. But you know, but the fun of it is what's cool, and I'm sure you guys know this, is that the great little secret nobody talks about is that they got all these like, don't go here, don't go there, you must stay in your seat. And we were like, no, let's just walk around like we own the place. I mean, we're in suits like everybody else. And so that's what we would do is like, if we couldn't get down there to talk to somebody, we would like head backstage and march around like we needed to get someplace. And that was always a blast too, you know, just to, you know, but I've done that all the time. So there, my secret is out, you know, I'm not, if I don't belong there, I'm going to act like I do belong there, you know?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. No, that's cool though, because you know, you look back at all that stuff and it's like, you know, and with you guys' history and how long you've been, you know, just loving the culture of the world you live in, it's like it's pretty cool. I mean, if California wasn't that expensive, I probably would definitely want to go there.
Don't get me started.
Well, you know what I mean, though. I mean,
I know what you mean, but everything,
perks,
you know. Yeah.
Because I'm a Hollywood guy myself, you know.
I'll talk about that over a drink with you any day, but I mean, it's something.
Yeah, I know you're pretty good over there, you know.
But I mean, I love it because the older I get, I'm not starstruck. I don't, you know, I'm more enamored with filmmakers than I am the people who are in the films. But that's the older I get. And that's something actually when Steve comes back, we can talk about that. That's one of the things we bonded on early. Here he is. When we first met and when he first came down to the set, he was a camera guy, and we just struck up this conversation and immediately became like the co-host and co-producer, and we did this thing together. But that spilled over into different things like screenwriting and, you know, and just it's and so we've always been, that's the one constant that's run through I mean, even casual conversations with he and I, we're always talking about making, we're always talking about writing, we're always talking about producing and stuff. And what's cool is when you watch our show, we don't have a crew. That's the other thing a lot of people don't realize is that the way we produce the show now is we used to have a crew, and we used to have even a crew when we started a few years ago. And then after COVID, you know, our crew got older or moved on to different things. So we were like, we're going to learn lighting. We're going to learn how to make this look good. And I bought some gear. And so like when you see the show and there's 6 people on it, there's nobody behind the cameras. And there's something sort of cool about everybody shows up, gets in the trenches, builds the thing, lights the thing, and then we do the thing. And I love that. I love the creative process. And so everything from our little set when we do the show to even paying attention to those movies during award season, I kind of crave, you know, the creative back and forth with somebody, you know.
Yes.
Cool.
Hey, Steve, you look professional over there.
Yeah, you look good over there.
There we go. Yes. Hopefully the connection is going to be a little bit better. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
you look great.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure. Yeah, I didn't get a chance to get my lighting all fixed up and pretty and everything. Sorry about that. There's a lot more going on back here that meets the eye, but I'm glad I made it back.
You're the updated captain quarters, because I remember the story of you finally meeting your idol, Captain Kirk, you know, Mr. William Shatner. So I remember that, you know, and I was very happy for you when that happened, because
that was a good day. That was a good day.
So
hey, I got a question for Steven and Dennis.
Yep.
When you talk about these award shows, What are your thoughts? I mean, with all the years of radio and stuff I did, I don't think I ever had to hardly ever pay for a concert ticket or anything, but ticket prices are incredible now. You go to you if you go to like the award shows you're at, when the artist goes up there and they spend their time to preach whatever their political beliefs are or whatever. It's like spending a couple $100 to go watch the Red Hot Chili Peppers or any band. I'm just using that for an example, you know, and using that for their platform. They're
Right.
doing that more and more these award shows now. What are your thoughts on that? Because that's not why they're up there, and it kind of bothers me because there's so many people behind the scenes of getting these people up on the stage in the first place, and they're going to use that time to spew whatever out. You know, what are your thoughts on that,
Steve?
Well, sure, I'll start. You know, here's the thing. I mean, those people are in their bubble. You know, they're
right.
This is their space. They're talking to their people. It's not dissimilar to, and I'm not saying it's necessarily right or wrong. I'm just saying it's not dissimilar to us getting on Facebook and blasting out our opinion about something. We talk to our audience, whether it's our close friends, whether it's our family, whatever. We talk to our people. Somebody that's standing up on a stage, you know, maybe it's a small club that holds 30 people. Maybe it's a stadium that holds 30,000 people. That's their audience. And a lot of these people, you know what you're getting into when you go see them. You know, if you go see Morrissey, you kind of know that you're going to have to put up with some of the, you know, in between songs, because, you know, that's his bag, baby. I think it's, you know, the price of admission. And I mean, we had similar discussions to this on the on SOUNDWAVES, because we have a segment on the show called Mass Debate, and that's mass debate, by the way, where a bunch of us get together and we chew on a topic.
I'm very
And
familiar
one
with
of
that.
one of them was one of our earlier ones was, when you go see an artist, do you want them to play the hits? Do you want them to play the new stuff? When they play the hits, do you want to make it sound just like it was on the record when you listened to it yesterday, or do you want to hear a new interpretation? And out of I think there was all 7 hosts were in on that, and everybody had a different opinion about what you can expect when you go, or what you should expect when you go to a show like that. So me personally, I know that some people are going to do that. If I go to a Cheap Trick concert, I know they're going to play the hits. I know they're going to have a good time doing it, and they're not going to say a word about who the fuck is president right now. They're just going to go out there and put on a good show. If you go see, I don't know, Madonna or somebody like that, there's probably going to be a little bit of something worked into the mix there. But you really, honestly, do your homework, kids. You know, if you're not sure what to expect, go to YouTube, because there's all kinds of awesome people that stand there with their cameras and, you know, beautiful 1080, and will shoot a whole concert for you. If you just want to kind of skim through and see what's going on in between the songs, what they're talking about, if you really want to know, that's a good way to find out.
Well, and to jump off from what Steve just said, you're right. I mean, you kind of know what you're getting when you buy your ticket, or when you go to an award show or something. How do I feel about that? It's not really my business or my place. And the reason I say that is because I think if any of us had something that we felt so strongly about, that, hey, I'm talking to 1 billion people, how do you not? You know what I mean? But we ask ourselves that question too. It's just like, I'm on the radio, and I'm very aware that my audience, you know, the station demographics as they break down are just about evenly split down the middle. So whatever I choose to say, I'm going to alienate half the audience. I'm not interested in doing that. I don't have to. I know what I believe, and I'm going to take it to the ballot box. Or again, I'll talk to you, you know, over a drink, you know, one-on-one, or, you know, whatever. I don't need to bring that to work with me. That's me personally. But then again, I'm kind of weird when it comes to a lot of things regarding this industry too. But I can see if somebody feel so strong that they want to preach to the choir and they want to get people to agree with them or whatever, you know what, it's their stage, and they've you know, you do you. Am I offended by it? Does it keep me away from them? No, but like Steve said, I know what I'm getting, and so that's why, you know, it just kind of is what it is. I think it's not necessarily about the politics. It's not necessarily about people wasting our time or whatever. I think we live in a culture 20 years removed from social media being introduced and everybody feeling like they could just, kind of belch their uninformed opinions into the interwebs. And I think that's created this freedom for people, entertainers and average folks like us alike. And I think that it's that empowerment of that moment. I will go back. Facebook will be like that. Facebook will be like, here's your memory from 15 years ago. And I look and I go, wow, I was chatty back then. I wouldn't say that shit now, but I certainly had an opinion about it then. It's everybody's personal, how do you act when you go to a cocktail party? You know what I mean? It's just like, what decorum do you bring? And that's on the individual. And
I'm actually the same way on social media these days, because it's the same thing. I will see memories that'll come up, and it's no secret that I'm the California liberal type, and I do have some friends and acquaintances who aren't, and they're not afraid to make their opinions made. And there were times where I would get on a soapbox, or I would say a thing, or something happened in the world, and I would comment on it, and I would have an opinion on it. And these people, I wouldn't hear from them for years. I wouldn't get a Christmas card from them or a text saying, hey, how you doing, or anything like that. But as soon as I start spewing my liberal bullshit, well, all of a sudden they're all over my Facebook feed, Yeah. And it's not like I don't have those opinions, but like Dennis said, and I say it often myself, is these days I let my voice be heard at the ballot box, because I'm not going to change anybody's mind. Taylor Swift, she might change some minds, And if you want to talk about somebody, whether you agree or disagree, whatever, she's somebody who's got the ear of a lot of people, and so that's. And is she using her platform for good or for evil? I guess that depends on
the only reason.
It depends on what side of the aisle you're on, whether she's doing a good thing or she's doing a horrible thing.
No, the only reason I brought up the award show
71-year-old here. Please don't use the word depends.
Oh boy. No, the only reason I brought up the whole award show thing was because lately, the last few years, the award show, when you look at Arbitron, Nielsen, whatever, they've just tanked. I mean, nobody's watching them.
Well, to be fair, everything's tanking right now. Everything's heading. The whole broadcast model.
Everybody off.
Yeah, I mean, but to be fair, everything's tanking. The only thing that's not is football. And that's because
that's true. That's true.
Yeah, I mean, right now the broadcast model is having a bit of a moment where they don't know what they quite want to be moving into the future. Streaming's not quite doing what it should have done, and broadcasts are not making the money for the ad revenue anymore. And so the entire broadcast industry, radio and TV, is in kind of a death wobble at the moment, and nobody's really sure what it's going to look like.
Yeah, there is no such thing anymore as must-see TV or must-see events. I mean, if you go back to my childhood, back in the Fred Flintstone days, if you wanted to watch The Wizard of Oz, you got one chance once a year. And if you missed it on that date, not that time, you're screwed, and you got to wait till next year. Now we've got, 1,000 channels and nothing.
Yep.
And, wall full of social media, or wall full of physical media that you can pop in whenever you want. So it's all disposable. It's nothing you got to do right now. It's nothing that you're compelled that I've got to sit down and watch it. Golden Globes were last night. I sat down and watched Taken with my son, because he's home for the Christmas holiday and the girls were out. So he and I sat down and watched a muy macho film together, and then I went online afterwards and I saw who won and who lost. And I'll probably go take a look. YouTube, I'll go take a look at the, the speeches and all that sort of stuff. And even with the late night stuff, because I follow the Stephen Colbert's and people like that. And I don't stay up and watch the show. I don't even have cable anymore. I've got Roku, and so I just wait till the next morning. And I don't even have to wait till the next morning, because if they're producing stuff at 5 p.m. in New York, by the time 8 p.m. rolls around on my time, the monologue is there, the any little special segments they did, the guest, it's all there.
No, he's right, actually, because that's the thing. You don't even need to stay up to watch that stuff. And even the content creators know that. They're just like, let's just put it out. Like, you can watch Saturday Night Live on YouTube, while they're doing it, and watch all the segments before it airs on the West Coast. It's like nobody really is quite sure what the thing to, and as producers of a show, this is our every single year we go, what is the show going to be? You know, like it's an hour, it's a half hour, it has music videos, but the music videos get dinged by YouTube. And it's just like, you know, we're constantly asking ourselves, what are we making here, and who is it for, and how are we going to put it out there? You know, and yeah, it's a very interesting time, you know, and I think for us, it just boils down to, let's just continue doing what we love to do, and we'll figure out what it looks like later, whether that's on a segment by segment basis or whether it's a half hour, you know.
And that's the thing too. When we started doing the show again, we decided we were going to make it our own, and you know, we would make the show we want to make, and we put it out there, and people would watch it and everything. And here we are 7 years later going, well, we'll take the hour show and make it a half hour, but we'll break the segments up and we'll put them up. You know, it's the tail wagging the dog. It's us chasing what's working, because we want people to see the stuff. We want people to, you know, to put all this work into it and then to just throw it into the void, and people aren't participating. So we try to find ways to make it as palatable and as easy as possible. If the you know, ADHD types don't want to sit down and watch an hour show or a half hour show, but they'll watch, you know, and I'm guilty of the same thing. What did I just say? You know, I go and watch Stephen Colbert and I watch his 7-minute monologue as opposed to sitting down and watching the whole show.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm guilty of it as well.
Right.
But that's us trying to find the best way to get the product that we're making in front of eyeballs.
And it seems like nowadays they want to take some places want to take physical media away from all of us. You know, they want people just to stream and not own anything that they're streaming. And
don't get me started about that, man. This has been my rallying cry for a couple of years now, and now you're starting to see filmmakers go like, no, don't get rid of your discs, because you know, like anything could just go away for a tax write-off now. You know, well,
I mean, if you look behind Dennis, you'll see he's got a whole wall of records back there. That is a very, by the way, a very small portion of his vinyl collection. That's the gold stuff right there. You look behind me, I've got all kinds of Blu-rays back here, all my physical media, because there'll be times where I've gone to look for something, and I've got it out here, but you know, in the living room inside the house, it's easier to go on Roku and just search for something to see so I don't have to come all the way out here. And a lot of times, oh, nope, not available. Not, you know, it used to be there, but not anymore. And I get an email I think every month from Amazon letting me know, or from Netflix actually, letting me know the stuff that's going away because they're whatever licensing contract they had for this block of films from this studio is expiring. And so you never know what's going to be there. You know, when they drop the big one, and all I've got left is a gerbil running around in a wheel so I can have electricity so I can run my Blu-ray player and my TV, I'm going to be able to watch whatever I want.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the other thing, okay, so this is my doomsday report, and please everybody be terrified by this, because if you're an entertainment lover, it's like, look what they've done in the last 10 years. They shame everybody into getting rid of your DVD player. Oh, you're old. You still have discs, you know, and they make everybody go into the streaming model, and now those prices are going up. And now the studios are all continuing to gobble each other. We saw Batgirl and all kinds of other movies get deleted for tax write-offs. Whole seasons go away forever. Shows that will never make it onto various platforms because they won't pay for the music rights. And it's like, when you look at that and kind of play that logic out, it's not just something over there. They're going to come for something that you love too one day. And when that happens and it goes away and it becomes a tax write-off, it gets removed from history and nobody gets to see it ever again. And it's that thing that happened 50 years ago. And I am solely of the opinion that if you love it, you need to have it. And that's like by whatever means, you know, you either buy it or acquire it elsewhere. But if you don't actually possess it, somebody can hit a button and it goes away. And that is where the entertainment business is right now. WALL-E, the movie, the Pixar movie, where everything was owned by and large, that was a prediction. That is where we're going. Everything's going to be under one roof. And when you do that, all the jobs go away, all the content goes away. And it's like, what are we left with? We're left with having been shamed into getting rid of our CDs. But this is going to happen in music streaming sites too. You know, all it's going to take is, you know, some label to go, we want a penny more. Okay, we're going to pull our entire million songs. Poof, gone. You know?
Well, That's why a lot of people, prefer like having like even like home theaters more over going to the movies because it's like nobody wants to spend the extra money or they're just or it's too expensive to just go see a movie when you can just do it at your house. You know?
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. And I get the ease of it. I mean, I do the same thing, but I set up a server. I have a NAS server here that I pretty much run everything like in the house off of all my editing stuff, so I can edit on whatever computer. But I was like, I'm going to build a media server, and so I started ripping movies and putting it on that. And what's awesome about that is I use a program called Plex, and I can stream everything off of that from my server here onto the TV. I can watch it on a tablet. I can be out of the house and watch it on a tablet. It's incredible, and it's all your stuff. I mean, short of lightning hitting your server and it, deleting everything.
I see Steve goes to movies a lot though. You're always taking your family out and again.
Oh yeah, now see, I'm kind of the. There's some movies that I want to see on the big screen. I enjoy going to the movies. I enjoy eating my styrofoam popcorn with the the petroleum-based golden topping that you put on top of it and everything. I mean, that's my bag, baby. I enjoy the theatrical experience. But I have gotten to the point where there is stuff, unless it's a big thing, I'll probably wait. I just watched the Holdovers, which did very well for Paul Giamatti at the Golden Globes. That's a movie I would have seen it on the big screen, but it was available to watch at home. So I watched it at home because it's not necessarily a big screen thing.
Mhm.
And I don't think my experience was lessened by viewing it like that. So, and yeah, it's expensive to go to the movies. So I'll do matinees. I'll wait till it gets to be second run, unless it's something that you got to see right now because somebody, some asshole is going to run a spoiler. There's this one guy that when The Last Jedi came out, he played this little, hey, check out this gift that I and then here's some dancing girls or something like that, and then right in the middle of it he dropped in a frame of Han Solo getting skewered, Han dies, and then goes back to the little video. I'm like, motherfucker, okay. So yeah, I mean, if it's something like that where somebody's gonna go out of their way to really ruin your day and piss in your Cheerios, I'll go see it on opening day, or I'll just stay off of social media.
Well, when COVID happened, I was surprised that the movie companies were actually willing to release their stuff on demand rather than make them wait, because I know some like for the Ghostbuster movie when that was a big thing and they want to wait till they put that in theaters, but some just were like, hey, we got a streaming platform, we might as well just put the movies out, as they
That
did.
pissed off a lot of filmmakers. That's actually why Christopher Nolan left Warner Brothers and went to Universal with Oppenheimer, is because he's like, they kept, now he got a theatrical release for Tenet, but he's like, what are we doing here? Like, why are we, and so they put everything on HBO Max day and date. And of course, all those movies didn't make a dime because you could just watch it at home. And so he took his whole production company to Universal, made $1 billion, doing Oppenheimer there.
And God bless that screwball Tom Cruise for saying that the only way you're going to see Top Gun Maverick is in the theaters.
Right.
Oh, sure.
And look how long that sat in the theater and just made money.
Yeah. Okay. So totally. So here's a comparison. So you got Tom Cruise who comes out and they're like, hey, this is the only place you're going to see this movie for a long time. Guess what? $1 billion, $1.5 billion, right? Pixar, on the other hand, dumps everything to Disney Plus, and now you've just taught your audience that Pixar movies are going to be available right here, And so they release a couple of Pixar movies. They don't do well. Oh, I don't know. We can't figure it out. That's really weird. Why aren't they doing well? Because you just trained your audience to know that you're going to get it at home, and you don't have to run out and see it. It's like this whole run of Warner Brothers superhero movies, right? So they go ahead and they all failed, and they spent $1 billion, and none of them made any money. Well, you went ahead and announced your new plans for your new superhero movies before these ones were out, which pretty much communicated to the audience, we don't really have to go see these 4 movies, do we? Because they're not going to matter. It's just like the messaging sometimes. It's so obvious, but they mess it up every single time,
Yeah, that's for sure. And I don't, like my whole thing, like you guys just got done going through a writer's strike and a big movie strike that delayed a lot of films. Even the newest Ghostbusters movie that's coming out in March now, it was supposed to come out during the holidays.
Right.
Uh, did that impact your show at all, or just
No.
impact your daily life or whatever, as far as what was going on?
Not me, not up here, not Soundwaves, because we're an independent show. I know Steve actually had a little fun because you did protest a couple of times. You
Oh yeah,
marched.
no, I definitely, you know, because I'm a member of the Screen Actors Guild, SAG-AFTRA, and so I hit the picket lines, and you know, there was the big Star Trek Day picket down in front of Paramount. I was down there with that, rubbing shoulders with, you know, all the Star Trek writers, producers, actors, all that sort of stuff. Had a lovely chat with David Gerald for about 20 minutes as we were walking along the trail together there. And it was important. I mean, the things that the union was fighting for were important things, and there are a lot of people, you know, I certainly not a majority, but there is a vocal minority of people who say that we didn't get enough, we didn't do enough, we gave in too soon. No, we didn't. You know, I mean, you've got to take those 2 steps forward to just keep moving the ball down the field. You know, and some people are saying you guys were out for too long because you've got all these other people, the Teamsters and the costumers and the grips. I mean, all these people are all out of work because you guys are holding out because you don't want your AI double to be put into a movie, you know. And it's kind of like, here's the deal, guys. If we go away, you go away. If everything becomes, you know, AI and CGI and all that sort of stuff, nobody needs to build a set. Nobody needs to put a costume on anybody. Nobody needs to make scrambled egg omelets in the morning for the crew. So what we're doing as actors is representing everybody, because without the actors, and the same thing with the writers, without the writers, there's nothing for the actors to do. If you want to have a computer write a script, and if you want to have AI generate characters, oh, here's Humphrey Bogart and Lauren Bacall together again, you know, and you could do that, and there'll be a novelty to it, sort of like back in the 50s with 3D, and that came back again. But you don't even really see that much 3D these days. You know, it's not as big a selling point. It was there for a while, and then it's whatever.
Well, I mean, you have a great point. Remember when Fred Astaire danced with a vacuum, and everybody was up in arms about that? Like, oh, how could they? How dare they?
Yep.
And that's the correct position to take on that.
Exactly,
because
right.
Fred Astaire didn't sign up for that. You know, somebody wanted to make money off him and sold his rights. That's what this was all about.
Yep.
Is so like, you know, like Harrison Ford can make a movie in 100 years and still look like he's 35. You know. and not get paid for it because he's long gone. You know, it's like, do we really want to be able to hit a button and have our, you know, I mean, using the technology, like Harrison Ford as the example, using the technology as they did in Dial of Destiny to make him look younger because it was a flashback scene, but you still wanted Harrison Ford to be Harrison Ford. That's the proper use of these tools, you know? Exactly.
And James Earl Jones, as another, for instance, he signed his voice over to Disney. And so, and he went in, they took all of his Darth Vader dialogue. They had him pre-record some stuff, and it wasn't necessarily lines, but it was just inflection and diction and things like that they could throw into the computer soup. And you can type out dialogue for Darth Vader, and James Earl Jones's voice will come out. And not like the crap AI that you hear on YouTube videos, like explainer videos and stuff like that. It will be as James Earl Jones as he was 40 years ago. And that's a choice that he made, and it was the right choice, because he's not going to be around forever. He still doesn't sound the same as he did before, even though Darth Vader's voice is generated. It's not his natural speaking voice. It's a computer generated voice. So to use those tools to be able to keep the character of Darth Vader viable across all these platforms, I think it was a great idea. And he's locked himself in as that guy, as opposed to getting some sound-alike guy to come in and do the voice.
I was still tripped out when I found out that the guy who plays the like when we knew about James Earl Jones and the voiceover. Before I knew what voiceovers were, I thought he was in the costume, in the original
Mhm.
series. I was very disappointed to find out that's not true. For somebody else.
Yeah.
I didn't know how Hollywood worked back in the day. I was just young. I didn't, I
Sure,
thought Freddy
sure.
Krueger was a real person, so it was just like,
You know what's funny? You just
Well,
I'm sorry, go ahead.
I worked for iHeartRadio for 21 years. I had 2 #1 radio shows a day in our city,
Nice.
and I got canned corporate cuts a few years back, but they're so cheap. They're so cheap. And yeah, and I lost my job from San Antonio, Texas. These people didn't even know me. They didn't know who I was.
Mhm.
Had 2 #1 shows, 21 years, but they still to this day, and I've been gone for a little over 4 years now from there. They still play replays of my morning show
Really?
because my morning show partner, who is actually a really good friend of mine, one of the few people that is still there, they're so cheap they wouldn't hire a part-timer. So he'll if he goes on vacation, he has to fill it in. So they own every breath I ever took for 21
Mm.
years there. And so it's funny because I'll get calls and messages saying, "Oh man, it's so great to hear you're back on the radio again." And I'm like, "Okay, dangerous day to be on vacation because they're playing my shows again."
Mhm.
But yeah, that's how it is. I mean, they own you.
Wow. That's terrible. That's terrible.
And what were you gonna say, Dennis? There for
Total aside. I mean, I could go down this rabbit hole about corporations and the way they treat people. I'm sorry you had that. I think I remember that purge because we have a friend who we work with who also it was like January of 20, I think 20 or 21.
Yeah.
20. It was 20. And yeah, same. I mean, he'd been with them for 15 years. He came in one day and they're like, "Yep, sorry, dude." And he had a #1 show as well here in San Francisco. So yeah, no, it's all about the dollars. We just went through that at our radio station about a month and a half back, and it's just like that's what it is. It's just like these companies gobble each other up, and they got to find the money somewhere. I was just going to speak to your point about when you realized that James Earl Jones, like you said, you didn't know how movies work, and I remember the flashpoint moment in my life. It's going to sound goofy, but I was 10 years old when Star Wars came out. And so that was just it for me. So I collected everything. I went to the theater and taped it, on a tape recorder so I could listen to it, And I used to, I collected the trading cards and got all the full sets. And by the time they'd gotten into the later series, because I think there was like 4 or 5 different colored series of cards, they were completely out of production photos and they were into like behind the scenes photos. And there's a scene in that first movie where Luke and 3PO are up on the hill and they got the binoculars and they're looking down and it's just the 2 of them up on this quiet hill. And it was a production shot where we're back here and there's them up on the hill, but they're surrounded by mics and cameras and lights and gaffers and the whole thing. And I was just like, I stood at this, like I stared at it going like, holy crap, like there's 20 people in this shot, like surrounding them at this. And so the next time I went to go see it, which was about a week later because it was our local theater, I spent the entire film imagining what was right outside the frame, what I wasn't looking at. And that changed my life. It changed the way I looked at movies, or creating anything, really, and so, yeah, thanks for bringing that up. Cause I mean, that's like a big thing for me,
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And this is kind of a big thing for me having you guys on our Renegade Radio season 2 premiere. I mean, I really appreciate you guys find the time because I know you're busy. And I know you have other lives, and you have families and everything. So it's
Mhm.
like, but the time difference and everything, I figured, well, it's still early over there, so
Yeah.
So I guess my last question for you guys is like, what do you like? What's the goal with like when you guys finally retire and decide that we're done with Soundwaves, unless you pass it on to somebody else or whatever? What's the ultimate goal that you want people to take from your program?
Well, I don't think anybody's going to retire anytime soon because so long as, I mean, it's funny because I mean, I work for a radio station and that could end any day. But beyond that, what we do with SOUNDWAVES, we just do because we love it. You know, what money is generated from the show through ads or whatever is put right back into the show. So none of us are getting rich. And so what we do is it's out of the love of the game. And at this point, it's supporting a local scene. It's having fun. We always refer to ourselves as the SOUNDWAVES family because we are. You know, it's like I love the people I work with more than I love certain members of my family, you know?
Yeah.
And we've built that over the years, and I love that. There's no, you know, and so long as I'm alive, so long as, you know, like, and there's no health issues, I'm always gonna want to have that moment with these people, you know, as much as I can. And so that's selfishly what it is, you know, for me at least.
How about you,
Yeah, and
Steve?
I don't see, you know, things changing on my end anytime soon either. I mean, Dennis and I have been working together for 4 decades now. It's what we do. You know, I mean, we're brothers, we're family, we make sound waves. It's kind of our bag, baby. You know, it's our thing. And with this new iteration, I mean, there were times, you know, back in the 90s and the late 80s where it was just me and Dennis. You know, we might, while we were still working at the local community access station, we might have somebody running a camera or not. We'd have to lock the camera down and just shoot the show. Or we were going out and just shooting ourselves, you know, put a camera up on a tripod, hit record, and then run over to the front of the camera and pick up the microphone and do. Now we don't have a huge crew, but we've got people that are invested in the show like we are. They feel the same way about it that we do. And that's nice for a change. You know, when we do have that SOUNDWAVES family, when we get together and do an episode where we're all together, we go to a location, like when we did our beer launch 2 years ago. It was great to have all of us together, drinking beer, listening to rock and roll, having a party. Why would you want to stop doing that? Well, you know, what's the upside to stop having a party with your best friends? You know,
Right.
so we're just gonna keep doing what we're doing. I don't plan on walking away from it because I don't see any reason to.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like you always enjoy your Christmas parties all the time. I noticed that every end of the year. It's like, oh, it's time for the big SOUNDWAVES Christmas party.
That's always a lot of fun. That's our big thing where everybody, you know, we could, and last year in particular, because, you know, Shasta is the boss of the radio station and people are scattered all over the place and Steve's kids were graduating. It was one of those times when we couldn't get everybody together at once, almost at all last year. And so, but those are the times when everybody, you know, comes together. And so it was especially gratifying last year to actually, after being so scattered, to just all come together and do the thing, because that's just the best, you know. You turn off the cameras, you pack it away, and you start drinking, and you know.
Well, I start drinking before the cameras turn off.
That is true.
Course,
that is true.
Yeah, I have a reputation to uphold after all.
That's right. That's right. You're Captain Kirk, man. I tell you. You know?
Yep.
Well, I've loved you guys for a long time, and I will always support you guys no matter what. Because
Thank you.
when I found you many years ago, probably over 10 years ago, I thought, well, this is cool that you guys are just a story of just two lifelong friends just continuing to support each other and do something really really fun that some people just only do temporarily, and then they regret, you know, not doing it anymore, or you give it time and, you know, you come back and recreate yourself. But I'm sure back in the day when you first started, you probably had no idea how long things were going to last. It was probably just what was that called, an experiment to see, can we do this, can we make this
Mhm.
happen? And then now all these years later, you built kind of a legacy for yourself. And I applaud you guys.
Thank you.
You guys are legends in my book, you know.
We're having
Everybody
fun.
else believes that too. So thank
Thanks,
you
buddy.
for being a part of the show, and I appreciate you guys. More, you know,
Thank you very much. Thanks for having us. It means
Yeah,
a lot.
thanks, Sean. I do appreciate it. It's good seeing you guys.
Yeah,
All
thank
right,
you.
well, we appreciate it. And everybody, I'm sure the crew, any questions that you guys got at all with crew members though?
No,
I'm good.
Thank you. Keep doing it. Keep it up.
All right.
happened?
It's all you can do. It's all you can do. Like I said, nobody can count on tomorrow, so let's have fun right now, you know.
That's right. That's right. All
It was
right.
my
Well, we appreciate you guys.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, guys.
No problem. No problem.
Adios.
Adios. I'll let you guys decide yourselves.
What happened?
All right. So what do you guys think then? Pretty exciting?
Oh yeah, I like those guys.
Very, very interesting. Very
Yeah.
interesting.
Question, that was it.
What?
I said, I
I'm
got
glad we didn't talk politics.
Yeah, hold on here, hold on.
What on earth happened here?
And I'm still waiting on to hear back from Jack because he hasn't really been responding to my feedback at all for the last 3 hours. So I don't know if he's what the deal is, but he should be on here hopefully about 7:30, about 5 minutes. but
Okay,
we'll
give
see.
give
Hey,
me
Doc,
just a
lose
minute. I got to
Mama?
the bathroom.
Yeah, go right ahead. Go take your pee pee. If he doesn't come on this episode, then I'll try to get him on for another episode, or I'll see if we can do like just a separate like interview, and then I'll include you and Mad Dog in the interview. If we can do a different day if he's not available, because he told me he was available. So well, we can only do what we can do, you know.
Can you
But-
guys hear me?
Yeah, we
We
can
can
hear you a
hear
little
you,
bit.
we can't see you.
I don't know
Yeah.
what happened. I don't know what's going on here.
Well,
Something.
we'll give it a little bit of time to see what happens, and if
Is it snowing outside?
No, it's cold though. It's like, it's like below zero over here at least, or getting close to it anyway. I'm sure you don't miss that there, Antique Ben.
Not at all.
You and your sweatshirt, dude. Looking all like ready to go to a game or whatever.
I'm gonna jump back in, guys. I'm gonna have to jump off and jump back in.
That's
Okay.
fine. That's fine. I wish we could play like a intermission music and everything, but it's like Facebook will shut us down if we do that. Anything copyrighted, you know.
You
But
can
we're
play
gonna
my song.
probably eventually try some new software here. That what you call it? That StreamYard. I've been looking at that, and we might start that. That might be a better thing for all of us because then we can share photos and videos and audio and whatever else, rather than somebody like me being able just to share, with one click of a button. Everybody be able to do it on their own computers. It's no big, wouldn't be a big deal. So that
You know,
might be.
you can play Sam Kinison stuff because we always got the right to that.
Well, no, actually, I can't because I tried the reason why I haven't been playing any Sam Kinison stuff is because on YouTube when I was trying to upload the video or our for video that we did the second or third episode of
Yeah.
last week, it got like flagged, and I couldn't. Yeah, they said you couldn't upload it with copyright material. They won't let me upload it at all. So
Huh.
yeah, so that's why I haven't been doing any Sam Kinison stuff. I want to, but
That was weird.
yeah. But anyway, so what was your
We can
thoughts
see you now.
on the SOUNDWAVES guys? I mean, that's pretty cool. The guy with the radio history and entertainment history. I mean, it's
I don't
pretty
know.
cool,
Me,
I
man, Mama T, and Screaming Sam were out of this one.
think. Yeah,
Hey,
I'm sure-
people on the screen. There's not really a lot of time to talk if we want the guest
I know.
or
Yeah.
anything.
Well, then I'm glad that everybody I mean, we did interrupt a little bit, but that's just, I blame that more on the internet, more or less than anything else, that people over talking, but, yeah, so, it's pretty exciting. I like, having that type of format, where we could just pick and choose kind of how we want things to go, but, we'll wait a little bit to see if Jack shows up. He was supposed to, he knew about this, so. If we can't get him right now, we'll try another date. But I apologize because
I do that long way.
we did have it set up. So
Johnny.
I still can't believe he turned down Jaws. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, Jack O'Halloran.
Yeah, in the Spy Who Loved Me. I mean,
Okay.
look what that did for that dude.
Yeah,
You know,
because
he turned that job down.
That's right.
Yeah.
Because there was the other guy that Richard guy that did the movie, the big other tall guy that was
Yeah,
he-
yeah.
yeah.
He did King Kong. He did
Yeah,
Farewell
yeah.
Lady.
Hell, he got to work with Bob Mitchum for Pete's sakes.
Yeah, he got to work with Gene Hackman, James Corbin, Jeff Bridges.
Gene Hackman's one of my all-time favorite actors.
He
One of
did
my
two.
all-time favorites.
One King Kong, and he did one called March or Die.
I'm gonna see if I can get him. I'm gonna give him a call here. Real quick, see if I can get it.
He also did a movie with Dan Aykroyd, and you know which one that was?
Yeah, that was Dragnet there.
Which
Oh,
one? did he
Dragnet.
do? Right.
Yeah.
Who
Yeah.
farted?
So who's
That's
doing,
what it sounds like.
who's doing some
Somebody's
fart
ripping
sound
ass.
effects there?
That was Jean-Claude Van Damme up there.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
That was Moose. Tell
I'm
him that was
gonna give Jack a call just to see what he's doing right now and see if he remembers here. So go hold. Just give me one
was that a
second.
Moose called John?
I wish I'm in a
terrified
leather
of that.
chair. It'd be
I
awesome.
remember Jack,
You know
Jack,
what the movie? Hey, do you know the movie starting with Chuck Norris?
Be completed as dialed. Please check the number and dial.
Here, I want to do it
It
for real.
sounds like somebody's farting.
Yeah.
No, it's not me. My wife thinks that's me.
That's you, John.
not me.
I'm in my wife's office right now.
It looks like
So
Sean, his
she's
face is
sitting
all
on the
red.
couch. Huh?
Look how Sean's crotch and his face is all red.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
that's just because of the
I think it's rubber tea.
phone numbers here. Oh, man.
Not I.
Again.
Antique man.
You.
Yeah. See,
You passing gas over there?
I
and
think
you
it's
think I'm
Sean.
bad with, and you think I'm bad with the funny videos at night and everything.
I think it's Sean.
I think somebody got a fart machine. That's what they're doing.
Now, if it was me, I'd brag about it.
Me
Well,
too.
I wouldn't bring up that
Yeah.
last. Sounded like somebody's got to go change their pants.
Well, can you? I can't hear it.
Can't hear that? That's a fart
No.
machine.
No. Oh,
Somebody put that on
Yeah.
the computer.
The fart machine. Somebody has a good sound
I think
effect. I think it's one you guys that have the
like, that's gonna itch if it never dries.
I gotta leave. Bye. No, I'm only kidding.
You got
They're-
shit
know,
it's like they sound
I
like they're
thought-
oil based.
morning. You
I
sit
thought
back.
by being around younger people, we would talk about sex, and here we are talking about farts.
How's that work out?
Not
Well,
good.
Oh,
man.
younger than you thought, huh?
I like Dennis and Steve's thing, masturbate.
Yeah. Oh,
That
yeah,
was
of
fun.
course.
Mama T and Sean are the only two younger people on this panel.
Yeah.
Who's the oldest? Who's the
Yeah.
oldest one in our panel? Who's the oldest one?
Who's the oldest?
Oh, that'd
one?
be me.
Yeah, that'd be Antique Man. That's why he's
Yeah.
Antique.
How old are you, Antique Man?
71.
No way.
Way.
How old are you, John?
I'll be 59 next month.
I'm the second oldest. 65.
Yeah, I didn't really plan it that way to where it comes to the ages and everything, because I thought I was gonna do it with a lot more younger people, but had no clue. But it's
Thanks.
okay.
He just couldn't find any younger people, so here we are.
Yeah, nobody wanted to work with me at all. You're right about that.
Hey, Pamela Slauson said hi. Is that your mom?
Yeah, that's my mom. Oh, he's not answering his phone either.
Hello.
You gonna say hi to her?
You can. Oh, hi, Mom. How's it going, brother? Because she was the one that tried. She was the one that tried calling earlier on. If you see me trying to shut my phone.
Is she up in Greenbush, Sean, or what?
Oh yeah. They live there. They love that place.
Yeah.
Well, well, my dad, he grew up there, kind of born and raised, and so it's his home area, and
Hey, right now, for what I do for a living, I'm a racetrack announcer, and right now Greenbush is up. They don't know what's going on.
yeah,
because
you
the
know what?
guy-
I work
he-
with,
he's done.
I work at the casino with was it Trigger or Tugger or whatever
Trapper.
is it? Trapper. Yeah, I
Yeah.
work with him at the casino. He's a maintenance guy. He actually, the
No
guy
kidding?
who's selling it. Yeah, I am, and I asked him because he was trying something back a couple years ago where he actually brought us an actual live rock and roll band during the 4th of July. We had, what was it? Quiet Riot was there. And that was the first time that I could ever remember in my entire life of going about Greenbush and living there that an actual rock and roll band, not a cover band or whatever, but a real rock and roll band came to Greenbush and put on a show. And they were supposed to do this every so often. And last year I thought they were going to do it. And of course, the year that I'm free and available to be out there for the 4th of July, they didn't do it at all, you know? And then all of a sudden he tells me that, oh, he's done with it now. So
yeah, that race park is a really nice. I've been fortunate enough. Back in the day, we used to race there, but I've been fortunate enough to announce up there, and it's a hidden gem. I mean, Greenbush has always been a town all about racing, and this Trapper guy, that kind of blows me away. I didn't know he worked at the casino because he actually lives in Glendon. So imagine living in Glendon, which is right outside of Moorhead or Fargo Moorhead.
yeah.
And he's been running this racetrack up in Greenbush for how many years? It's like, yeah, I'm going to step away. You're thinking, okay, I'm going to step away and retire. But now I find out he's working at the casino. That dude, he must be,
I don't know what the deal
crazy
really
or
is.
rich.
Well, I mean, he's a subdy, so I mean, it's like so subdies know how to manage money. You know, that's the first thing. You know, some of them
Yeah.
don't. You know, but a lot of them do. The other thing is that he tries to he's a little bit different than how he sees his family. You know, like I always consider myself kind of the black sheep of my family. The difference maker, kind of the one who is the one who, you know, is trying to make it in the family, but everybody doubts that he'll make it or whatever, you know. And that's where I'm at in my life.
I was a black sheep in my family too. I
Yeah.
was a black
How
sheep
I
in my
grew up-
family.
Yeah.
Tell him why.
How I grew up, I remember two names I'll never forget: Dave and Dermont Wall.
Yeah.
Hey, knucklehead, tell him
I
why.
thought,
Well,
Why?
yeah, I know them.
Because I was crazy.
Okay, well,
And the
The
Wall
only-
brothers are just you know, they're kind of the simple-minded folk. You know, they only know what they know, and yeah, God bless them because they're raised in legends, but that's all they really know.
And
You know?
I better come on. I'm
That's-
dead serious.
that's all they know.
I
Yeah.
did research all day.
But anyway, I think we're just gonna cut it from here because I don't think he's gonna show. If he does, we'll just reschedule it for I'll have Mad Dog and Sam do the interview with me.
I have everybody. We're all family, man.
Well, it's everybody has busy schedules. Some people are busy. You know, that's why Monday
Or
nights
reach out.
work. Or else
Reach out to us. I know I got a hockey game tomorrow night, and I have a hockey game on Friday night, and I'm on location in Reynolds, North Dakota, Saturday. But reach out to me.
Hey, I went to a boxing match last week and a hockey game broke out.
Oh. Well, yeah, because I think all we're doing is just waiting, and I think he's probably something came up or whatever because we did schedule it. He must have forgot. That's happened a couple times. Remember, it happened with Williams and Reed too.
Sure.
So I mean, nothing I
Yeah.
can do about it. I can't make him come to the show. It's just disappointing. But we had two guests cover for us for now. But
It was great. Great interview.
I'll talk to him and we'll see about rescheduling, and then we'll see who wants to be involved and we'll do like an hour interview. So for now,
Depends
I
on
think
what time.
this is how we ended season 2 of
And Sean
Renegade Radio.
Mad
Huh?
Dog's enough.
What? I keep talking to you.
Sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, all right. Anyway, I'm Frankie Slauson, along with Screaming Sam, Mad Dog, John Roberts, Antique Man make his long-awaited return, not debut, but return, and Mama.
Thank you.
And we appreciate Steve and Dennis for being a part of our guests for the first episode of season 2. Next week we got comedian Sam Miller and Mr. Vincent Berry, who's an author. So those two are definitely guaranteed to be on the show for next week. Other than that, that's all we have for you for this week. I hope you enjoyed it, and till then, see you next time.
Adios. Hey, my crew, what you gonna do when the Mad Dog takes a bite out of you? Off. Woo!
Bye bye, everybody.